Well, a wonderful, glorious good morning to you, Grenada, Caribbean, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. It is Monday. It is the 4th day of the month of March, and indeed it's a glorious opportunity to be saying good morning to you. It's your boy JC here with ya. It has been a while that we've done this together on any morning at all, well, with the exception of this early, with the exception of Saturday mornings when we go bonkers with each other. But either way, it is Monday morning, and we're just so happy, and the Classic family is so happy to have you here with us. Singing our praises, being grateful that we're alive and well and we are in living colors. JC in the morning, and I'm here to keep you company. We go right on until to the point, and it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful morning. What's the plan for you? I want to say thanks for waking up with us, understanding you have options, but you've chosen to be part of the Classic family in the morning time. And indeed, we're just grateful, really, really grateful. Of course, giving God thanks and praise that we are alive and well and in living colors. And good morning to those of you that's on radio, those of you that's on television, and those of you that is on our Facebook feed. We're going to attend to you in just a while. But indeed, we say thanks, and we're so, so happy that you're here. If for some reason you don't feel as though you woke up on the right side of the bed, here's what I suggest that you do. You just get back on the bed, and choose the other side. And that should help you if you're worrying about the wrong side of the bed. Well, of course, we have the March 13 quiz that is there for the young ones, and that's coming up in just a bit. We share the thoughts of the day, the word of the day, and later on, programming-wise, we have two guests this morning. We'll be talking to Mr. Sylvan McIntyre, and certainly we talk about road safety and his organization and exactly what is it they've been up to. A whole lot that's happening as we also talk plans for Carifta 2024. Grenada's hosted off it, and indeed we're so happy that you're here with us in the morning time. So we get into the time, the appointed morning, when we are going to jump straight into the March 13 quiz, and you can well appreciate that we want to. This is for all the kids, the children, that is. I want to give you one that is not too difficult. Yes? So, question of the morning. What type of economy was the PRG developing in order to achieve its immediate goals of a higher standard of living for Grenada's population? The question of the day. What type of economy was the PRG developing in order to achieve its immediate goal of a higher standard of living for Grenada's population? You give me a call, 435-2041. That's the number on the inside. And we certainly you in with an opportunity to win yourself some wonderful prizes from the team. We're keeping our eyes on the clock. It is 20 minutes until the hour. The morning edition comes up in just a bit. But indeed, we say thanks for being part of the Monday family. Again, the number on screen, 435-2041. And the question of the day, what type of economy was the PRG developing in order to achieve its immediate goal of a higher standard of living? That's the number on the inside. We're not going to take the whole day to do this. If we don't get an immediate call, then we are going to move right on because we have some packed schedule for you. But we have a caller that is on the line. Let me just take the music down a bit for you, and I'm going to attend to the call right about now. Good morning to you. Good morning. How are you?
Love you.
Hello. Okay, don't think. He must have been dropping off his child or children somewhere. But whoever you are, love you too. 435-2041. That's the number on the inside. Again, the question of the morning. What type of economy was the PRG developing in order to achieve its immediate goal of a higher standard of living for Grenada's population? And maybe I'm going to help you I'm just going to help you. We're going to go back to the telephone lines. Good morning, you're alive.
Good morning.
Yes, you're alive. How are you?
Is it socialist?
No, it isn't. But I would prefer if we allow the younger ones to answer it, though, if you don't mind. But you're not correct.
All right.
Thank you, though. 435-2041. We're going to give the opportunity for one more call. And then, as I said, we would encourage, of course, there are prizes available here, but do encourage if we can get those individuals, listeners at school age, the younger ones, to be part of this conversation, a part of history, a process of learning. Yes? 435-2041. Monday morning, we're getting ready to, of course, take on the challenges of the day. And I want to say a wonderful good morning to you wherever you are. Good morning to the Harris family. Good morning to you, Lady Helen Elias Raymond. Indeed, it's a pleasure being here with you in the morning time. So we leave that alone. We defer the question for another day. And we are going to go to the thought of the day, Master Control. You know, because very often when it comes to how we see ourselves, how we think, we see ourselves through the eyes and the lenses as to how other people see us, not realizing that really and truly it doesn't matter what people think about you. So we're going to go for the word of the day quickly, and then we're going to the thought of the day, and then we're going to do the word of the day in just a bit. But just to keep you in mind, it has been a busy weekend. What's happening this week? Well, there's a whole lot that's happening this week. We're getting ready for what's going on with me? Yes, we get it ready for Intercall. Well, not this week. Intercall is just a matter. The countdown is on. Today is the 4th. So the countdown to Intercall is on. There's also plans for character. The GFA has, of course, its Super 8, its Big 8 in Division 2. That is on. So, Master Control, when you're ready, you can either give me the thought of the day or the word of the day, whichever one that's at your fingertip. For the immediate. So the word of the day today is connive, and it is a verb. And what does it mean? To connive is to secretly help someone do something dishonest or illegal. And I know we've heard it. They connive in this, they that. So the word of the day is connive, Connive, and it means to secretly help someone do something or someone. If you scroll, right. So how do we use the word? It's not just about knowing the word, but it's the use of the word. So Roger suspected that his co-workers were conniving to get him fired, when in reality, they were planning his surprise birthday party. The use of the word, Roger suspected that his co-workers were conniving to get him fired, when in reality, they were planning his surprise birthday party. Sometimes the truth is, things are not always what they seem. So that's the word of the day, and certainly, hoping that you can add it to your repertoire of words as you go through the day for today, the 4th. If we do have the thought of the day, we would go with that as well. But reminding you, the question for today for the March 13 quiz, we've deferred it to another day because we didn't get anybody attempting. Well, no, we didn't get anybody. We didn't get a right answer today. Well, the London morning edition comes up in just a bit, and indeed, as remind you later on that we do have two guests this morning. We'll be talking character, and we'll be talking to former Superintendent of Police Sylvan McIntyre regarding his initiative that's following the death of his son, and certainly. And the whole question of road security, we also going to touch on the issue of the breakdown of law and order. And those are some of the issues that sometimes we turn a blind eye to, not realizing the effect that it has on us. So, we're keeping our eyes on the wall. It is 16 minutes on to the hour. For those of you that's on television, we give you rebroadcast of last evening's, the weekend's, the recap of the news from last weekend. And for those of you that's on Classic, the morning edition of news comes up just after a quick commercial break. JC with you in the morning time, sending you a whole lot of love and here to keep you company.
For when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Thanks for joining us. It was a day for viewing, sampling, purchasing, learning, and much more as the Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program, SIAP, staged an exposition on Seatonbrough Street, Grenville, St. Andrew. Over 40 individuals, some of whom are beneficiaries of SIAP's projects, had their products on display. Christina John reports.
On the backdrop of promoting food security, this Extension Officer, Brenda Lynn Samuel Chance, attached to the Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program, SIAP, explained best practices with focus on utilizing less chemicals.
Here is plastic mulch with celery. This year you show them how to improvise. If they do not have the land space, you could use pots and produce just as much healthier crops as possible. And this year is a backyard gardening initiative where if it's only one tub you have, you try to intercrop, do a variety of crops that you could add to your nutrition in your plate. So it helps, it aids with food security. And this year is farming on the contour where you have a slope. So we slow the flow here, the flow of the water coming down. We do a head drain, and then you slow the flow with stones and sticks on the side, and you intercrop. On the hills you do beds. This is for the water to irrigate, so you do beds and you do the same intercropping on that side.
Carlo Paul, a fisheries assistant attached to SIAP, is encouraging safety at sea and providing guidance on the impacts of climate change and mitigating strategies.
We have on display general safety at sea items because we promote adherence to fisheries regulations. And we have a few: life jackets, the flare guns, first aid kit, VHF radio, solar flashlight. And for the kids, we also came up with a booklet for them to understand how climate change affects fisheries. What are some of the activities that their parents who are involved in fishing can do to mitigate against the impacts, as well as adapt to some of the changes that climate change has on the marine ecosystem. All right, we have a coral tree. What this is for is basically it acts as a propagation for corals that passed away or died. So you get live corals and you place on the structure for them to grow. And when they're mature enough, areas where you have deceased coral reefs, you can plant it back and they proliferate.
Karen Lewis and Pamela Richards Bartholomew are both agro-processors who use local fruits to create healthy and nutritious food items. Here's how they go about it.
Products, they are all locally made. It's a product originated from Trinidad, Coachella. It's made from the green products, green mango, green golden apple, and tamarind sauce. It's a very tasty dish that you could use on the side as a side dish, or you could put it to help enhance your food that is already cooked, or you could season up your food with it also. All right, it's Coachella.
Basically condiments, different flavors in condiments and hot sauces and butters, oils, flours. It's a lot. Yes, no preservatives. Oh yes, we was the first batch actually. We was the set before COVID started, so it was indoors. We actually got the live training. Yes, so at the beginning, it was very challenging, but we got through, and afterwards we was able to, branch off and start our own businesses. And with the funding and everything, it really
4-H clubs and students from other schools in the district were among the touring groups. The students were exposed to a wealth of knowledge. But just what did they learn?
I tasted chip and I think that it tastes really good. You should try it. I learned how to make a bamboo umbrella.
Learned that you got a lot of healthy foods here, a lot of healthy food here. I learned that growing crops and vegetables is very hard for farmers around the place.
And that climate change is real. I learned that agriculture is important.
I learned that agriculture spreads all around the world. And Grenada is a very agricultural place. I would go home and try different local recipes.
All in all, it was a win-win for those who attended and patronized. Christelina John, GBN News.
Now, a special reserve police officer of Tobago has been sentenced to 12 years and 4 months at His Majesty's prisons for the role he played in the armed robbery of the Grand Mall gas station in December 2022. We get more in this Nisha Paul report.
Justice Guilford noted the serious nature of the offense, which was executed in a public place. The court emphasized its strong stance against individuals entering Grenada to commit criminal acts. Both Francis and Balboza were represented in the matter by attorney Jerry Edwin.
And to the court, this was an aggravating feature and actually enhanced, that is, it increased the sentence that he received. The judge said specifically that Grenada is a peaceful and loving country, and any national who enters another country, specifically one who comes into Grenada for the sole purpose of committing a crime here, is on notice that the judge and the courts, the police, law enforcement will not treat lightly.
Meanwhile, Francis, who has several prior convictions of a similar nature dating back to 2013, was heard creating a chaotic scene in the holding area shortly after the sentence was handed down. Police were subsequently observed escorting an angry Francis from the holding cell to another area. With 1 prison year equivalent to 8 calendar months, both convicts will spend just over a decade behind bars. Robbery with violence and aiding and abetting both carry maximum penalties of 20 years imprisonment. For GBN News, Nisha Paul.
Well, His Majesty's prisons will be the home of a 34-year-old St. Andrew resident, Christopher Brathwaite, for the next 6 years, 3 months and 25 days of his life for the offense of grievous harm. Nisha Paul has another report.
The matter, which dates to November 2021, came up for sentencing before Madam Justice Paula Guilford at the St. George's No. 1 High Court on Friday. The 34-year-old steel bender of Hope, St. Andrew, was initially facing 3 charges: grievous harm, rape, and indecent assault. However, he was acquitted of the latter 2 by a jury of his peers approximately 3 months ago, but was found guilty of causing grievous harm to the female complainant. Brathwaite's criminal defense attorney, Jerry Edwin, has questioned the validity of the grievous harm conviction, indicating that there are grounds for an appeal.
We are going to appeal this sentence because we believe that the jury verdict was inconsistent with the facts of the case. To our mind, this sentence was not merited.
Brathwaite, who was 41 years old at the time of the incident, was also ordered to pay $5,000 compensation to the female complainant.
To the court's thinking, Mr. Brathwaite was responsible for causing the injury to the victim in this case, and to our mind, we have a very different view. We believe that Mr. Prophet was not responsible. And during the trial, there were contradictions in the evidence. But this is for the Court of Appeal.
The first payment is to be made on his last working day, 6 months after serving his sentence, and thereafter until the sum is paid in full. Brathwaite faces an additional year imprisonment if he fails to comply with the court's order. For GBN News, Nisha Paul.
The Royal Grenada Police Force has issued an official wanted bulletin for Levon Richie Date, who managed to escape police custody while attending the Grenville Magistrates Court on Wednesday, February 21, 2024, which prompted a search operation across the country. Levon Date, alias Magic, 33 years old, of Griffin Lane, Grenville, St. Andrew, was charged for capital murder in the death of Wayne Smart. The RGPF is offering a reward of $5,000 EC to anyone who provides any information that could lead to his recapture. The RGPF emphasizes the importance of community cooperation in maintaining law and order to prevent any potential risk to public safety. Date is described as dark in complexion, 6 feet tall, slim build, dark eyes with black hair. The circumstances surrounding his escape remain under investigation, and the police are urging anyone with information on his whereabouts to come forward and assist with his recapture. They are encouraged to contact the Grenville Police Station 442-7224, CID St. George 440-3921, Police Emergency 911, Police Hotline 444-1958, or the nearest police station. The police assure that all information provided will be treated with confidentiality. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, Minister for National Security, at the recently concluded Heads of Government meeting in Guyana, reaffirmed the commitment of the heads of government to implement the Caribbean arrest warrant.
We assure our citizens that we are committed to the principles enunciated in that declaration and to implementing them. And I would just highlight one of the issues that countries have already started acting on, and we expect that between now and July, all of the CARICOM members will ramp up the action to make sure that this becomes a reality. And that is the Caribbean arrest warrant. As it stands now, someone is wanted in Trinidad and Tobago and find themselves in Grenada or Barbados. It is extremely difficult for law enforcement to apprehend and return them on the simple basis that they would not have been wanted in Grenada or Barbados for any crime. And so we need to make sure that criminals understand that we would not tolerate them moving from island to island within the community to escape consequences of their actions.
Grenada National Council of the Disabled, GNCD, continues its efforts to enhance accessibility, education, and economic empowerment of individuals living with disabilities across Grenada. We get more in this report.
Demonstrating its dedication to inclusivity and empowerment, the Grenada National Council of the Disabled, the GNCD, has unveiled a range of initiatives focused on improving accessibility, education, and economic empowerment for individuals with disability throughout Grenada. At a special ceremony held at the Public Workers Conference Room, the GNCD presented 3 iPads to the School for Special Education in St. George and St. Andrew, a computer and a printer to Miss Nikwana Noel, an aspiring entrepreneur with a disability, and assistive devices to the Resource Center for the Blind and the Society for the Blind, among others. In her remarks, Rena Pear Thomas, Public Relations Officer of the GNCD, GNCD expressed gratitude for the impact of these collective efforts in positively changing the lives of individuals with disabilities. She emphasized the importance of breaking down barriers, fostering inclusivity, and creating a more equitable society for all.
The provision of these resources underscores our commitment to ensuring equal opportunities and access to education, technology, and economic empowerment for persons with disabilities. We firmly believe that every individual, regardless of their ability, deserve to have a chance to thrive and succeed. As a public relations officer of the Grenada National Council of the Disabled, I am deeply moved by the impact of our collective efforts in making a positive difference in the lives of persons with disability. Together, we are breaking down barriers, fostering inclusivity, and creating a more equitable society for all.
Pierre Thomas also extended heartfelt appreciation to all supporters and partners whose generosity made the contributions possible. The initiative was realized through collaboration between the GNCD and the Salvation Army. Christy Wall represented the Salvation Army at the handover ceremony.
For those who are interested in donating or whatever, and you want to give, it's not hard to do it in Grenada. There's people who really will make it easy for you to do it. So just get a hold of the Council of the Disabled in Grenada, and they'll arrange with you how you can give. We'll bring 20 wheelchairs in the last 2 years, and 7 walkers, a few crutches, mobility canes, which I hope there'll be many more in years to come. And so those are just some big things we were able to do because Grenada has such a big heart.
Recipients of the items expressed their gratitude to the council and its stakeholders.
GNCD has always been, we have always benefited from GNCD's good favor, and this morning is no different. I know that the iPad will go a long way in terms of our children being able to access information, being educated through technology. And just to pause for a second, I would also like to acknowledge the persons or agencies that always sees the need to come on board to bring aid to persons or people in our society that are always maligned or society don't see the need to really come forward to assist.
For us personally, I think the donation couldn't come at a better time. And I really, really, really appreciate the gift that you have given to us this morning, because just yesterday I found a little child, and I think that she'll be able to benefit from that which was given to us this morning.
The initiatives undertaken by the GNCD provides a beacon of hope and progress, inspiring positive change and transformation for people with physical and other challenges in Grenada. For GBN News, Janelle MacDonald.
Although Independence Day has passed, Grenada's Golden Jubilee celebration rolls on for an entire year. The Tia Marisha Community College, St. Patrick's campus, has spearheaded an activity to keep the celebration alive. More in this report.
Red, green, and gold were visible on the streets of St. Patrick Friday as the year-long Grenada 50th anniversary of independence celebrations continue. The Tia Marisha Community College St. Patrick campus and the Educational District 2 staged an extravaganza incorporating 12 schools in the parish. The activity began with a street march from the Satyrs bus terminal to the playing field opposite the TAM CC. According to coordinator of the program, Devon Charles, this activity creates an avenue that is likely to spark creative interest. He said it is also a means of creating togetherness among students from the various schools in the parish.
And one of our objectives that we decided, look, let's bring the schools together where TAMCC is spearheading such an activity, because TAMCC is an institution that trains persons in different capacities, and it's like we are selling ourselves to, because sometimes persons, TAMCC put on this show today, and persons would now gravitate towards TAMCC because all this was happening to is part of the creatives, and this is a big thing in Grenada today. And it's not everyone who wants to study the arts, the science, the engineering, and stuff like that. Sometimes this is what helps them.
Another component of the event featured cultural presentations.
School would perform, and we also have other persons within our community, some soca artists. We expect them to be here, and we have individual performances from other persons who would be doing poem. We have drumming. We have a violinist, that's Jelani Moses, who is very, very well. At the end of the day, we are going to have two live bands. The TAMCC student band is up here, and the RGPF band is also going to be there. They are going to be bringing the show to a close. So I think this is a nice cultural integration today with the Chinese who are part of the program, because at this institution, there is a Chinese program that is ongoing. It's an evening program, but also during the normal procedure, you have the students pursuing Chinese also. But they are going to perform a song today in Chinese, which I think it's a really, really wonderful integration of culture. And I think a lot of people would be happy to hear this.
Carl shared his general thoughts on the 50th year celebrations.
I thought the parts that I liked the one part that I saw the rally where they emulated the senior citizens. That stood out for me with the senior citizens that they had given the right and mentioned that narration about the age and whatever they do. But all in all, I think the 50th anniversary celebration was a wonderful experience. There might be things that would have been left out, but that's just how it normally be. The introduction of a $50 note, I see that's a very wonderful thing. It's something that I think Grenada should be proud about, that we have to get that note to mark our 50th anniversary.
Grenada's Golden Jubilee is celebrated under the theme, One People, One Journey, One Future. Christina John, GBN News.
The staff and students of Burnett Government School bring Africa to this evening's GBN ISAW. Stay with us.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISAW is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Staff and students of the Burnett Government School held their African Awareness Day activity on Thursday. They decided to host the event on the last day of February in commemoration of Black History Month. The theme was Celebrating Who We Are. The students represented different African countries, including Zimbabwe, Ghana, Mali, Nigeria, Kenya, Ethiopia, and Uganda. We thank our citizens journalists for that submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
The Planning and Development Authority of Grenada, PDA, is enforcing regulations to curb illegal, disorderly, and unauthorized development in several locations throughout the state of Grenada. The authority is concerned that structures mainly associated with vending are negatively impacting the environment, has undesirable public health and sanitation consequences, present obstructions to vehicle and pedestrian traffic, can become projectiles during adverse weather conditions, and generally affect the aesthetics of the nation. The PDA will work along with stakeholder ministries and institutions to effect the demolition, removal, and disposal of structures which fall in the category of illegal and disorderly development, commencing January 2024. In this regard, persons who vend in or occupy such illegal structures are advised to secure their personal belongings and have the structures removed ahead of the planned PDA demolition operations. These actions of the PDA have become necessary to safeguard and protect public health and the environment, ensure the safety and well-being of all citizens and visitors, discourage any future disorderly construction, and encourage compliance to regulations pertaining to physical development in the state of Grenada. This is a message from the Planning and Development Authority of Grenada.
I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP.
I am VIP. I am vaccinated. I am immunized. I am protected.
children and nation depend on vaccination for immunization. Childhood vaccination is national priority. It is their protection from disease and sicknesses. Let's all be VIPs and safeguard our beautiful Grenada. I am DJ Blackstorm and I am a VIP health champion. Be a VIP like me.
Let's all be VIP champions.
A message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Be a VIP Childhood Vaccination and Immunization Campaign in collaboration with UNICEF and the Pan American Health Organization.
Classic in the morning time, Classic 105.5 and 105.9 on the FM band. And wonderful good morning to you. I want to say a special shout out to those of you that's on Facebook. Good morning to you, Alexandra, Velez, Jaylan McIntyre, and all those of you that's there shouting out and saying good morning to you as well. I promise you, and I deliver. That's why I keep saying I'm not necessarily cut to be a politician. Because when I promise, it's not if, maybe, or perhaps. If I'm going to deliver, I do deliver. What's going on, my dear friend? How are you?
I am okay.
You managed to wake up this morning?
Yes, I managed. Had some rest last night, just a couple hours, like about 3 or 4.
What is it you were doing that you only managed 3 or 4? Is that part of that's part of the regiment?
It's a new regime that I adapted just about a year ago.
That you only get 3 hours sleep?
4. Maximum, I probably get about 5 for the last year.
Is that what you would recommend to the general public, though?
I absolutely would not, because my career as an officer for 39 years, I ensured when I did not have to work that I got myself a full 8 hours rest and sleep, and that kept me. But since that tragic turn of events, it did make a turn generally in my entire being. My emotions, my feeling, and my activities has changed since then.
These are special times.
Yeah, it is.
And normally when we say special times, we think in Christmas. But for you, this season, I refer to it, it takes on a special tone, a special energy,
it does,
and a special vibe for you.
Yeah. So let me just say good morning to PT Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada. It has been a very dark moment in the period of my life, my family's life, for the last year, March 6, 2023. And for someone who has not lost a child, you do not know how it feels. And for other persons who've lost a child, through tragedy or otherwise, my sympathy, my empathy goes out to you, because I understand the deep, emotional, sad feeling, that emptiness, that massive vacuum that is left in one's heart, in their being, and so forth. I feel it. So our presence here today is a matter of ensuring that there is a safety legacy that is built. Grenada would be happy about it. So this moment is one that is really sad. It was a Monday morning, and it was just the 3 days I'd spent with my son after returning from Costa Rica. Came in the Saturday evening. We had a nice Sunday. He stood on the platform and looked down at me, and we spoke about his fitness as to his size that he was generating. I said I had all athletes. As Conrad would know, he's speaking later on about athletes. Asher was an athlete himself. And I said, you all were physically fit, well trimmed, and look, you have a lot of weight. And he smiled down at me from the platform and said, Daddy, you know that I had an injured ankle. So that kept me away from being physically fit. And on Monday, which was the 6th of March, 2023, Monday morning, he said, I'm going to return to do my usual fitness exercise, my jogging and my walking. He did so. That was the last moment of his life. And he died for something that many are trying to achieve, a healthy life. And he died tragically trying to maintain his health. And the bottom of it, which was sort of a consoling and still sad, when the pathologist did the autopsy, his remarks were, "That's one of the more healthier bodies I've seen for many, many years." He said, all of this gentleman's organ could have been used, except the ones that were damaged, the lungs, etc., in the accident. And that in itself drove, a huge nail. It said that Grenada had lost someone, a healthy person, someone who was striving to be healthy and to be an example to others to live healthy as well. But that did not end the situation, because, as I said many times, I've never questioned God as to why he did it or he allowed it. I asked of him, what do you want of this situation? So I resisted the temptation of questioning God. Why him? Why us? And I did not ask that question. I said, what do you want of this situation? And immediately, the initiative that we're going to speak about today, that we are going to observe on the 6th, is exactly what it is. The Asher McIntyre Road Safety Foundation.
So the foundation came about as a result, taking something that is totally that from a lot of innovative people, it could tear you apart, break you.
Good.
You managed to dig deep, while not asking God any questions. Maybe sometimes, I'm not sure if you were afraid of the answer he was going to give you.
Probably.
Yeah. But you take a dark situation and you made the best out of it.
Yes.
And outside of the significance of it to you as an individual, sometime in life as human beings, it's a greater quality, and it speaks of who we are. Some could wallow in self-pity and say, me, that's it. You opted to turn the corner. And here we are.
Yeah.
A foundation.
Yes.
What's the overarching objective of the foundation, the Asher McIntyre Foundation?
So, as you mentioned, the strength that I drew from this, I think I am convinced that I'm on a journey on earth, and I have a mission to fulfill, and it has to be fulfilled in helping people, developing people from all ends. So if you recognize, my life is about service to people, service to country, just about that. And that's what gives me the passion, that's what gives me the energy, that's what creates the catalyst for me to continue to just spiral into doing one to the other. But that dark situation is bringing light to a lot of Grenadians. It's a road safety foundation. We set out what we wanted to achieve. And there are a few things that we are going to announce. Let me just say before I lose it, that on March 6th this year, which is Wednesday afternoon at 5 p.m., we are inviting every person available within that time to come out opposite the Grenada Breweries, Car Breweries, that car park exactly where the accident or the incident occurred last year. We're asking people to assemble. We'll be having a candlelight vigil. We're expected to have a short march as well and a motorcade that we are intending to demonstrate our feeling, our movement towards a safer society, the foundation. We are expecting people to come out with placards to display exactly what they would want to see as a difference in road safety in Grenada. And we're hoping we will make an announcement on that day as to one of the greater initiatives that we are championing that will become a legacy initiative in Grenada that everyone will be proud of. That, as the foundation says, I'm safer, that Grenada will feel safer because of the life of one person whom we believe is a sacrifice for the greater good. So some of the things that we are intending to showcase, we would be advocates for road safety generally. We would be championing with and collaborating with the RGPF. They do have a school information education initiative that we would be collaborating with them to go through schools and institutions to build the road safety conditions in Grenada, starting with the young ones.
And you would agree, Sylvan, that accidents, they are what they are.
Yeah.
However, there are things that occur in life that can be avoided if we get to respect
Yes.
the highway code, respect each other's lives, and just be genuinely look out for each other. Speeding, why do we have to speed? If the speed limit is 20, why you figure that you need to go 40?
Yes. So we are not convinced through our research that enough is being done about road safety. We think that there are a lot more things that could be done. We believe that more traffic signs should be more conspicuously placed. We believe that the electronic era is here, and we should have more displayed electronic signs about road safety. We think on the Morris Bishop Highway, where accidents have been happening, and fingers crossed, hands to our chest, that the statistics is trending downward since our initiative. So that's a plus, and we want to be able to come out with the facts to say that from that time we've seen a downturn in accidents, and so far statistics are indicating that. In terms of fatalities, we've not had any since then, and that again we're holding our hands to our chest, and we want to say, well, because we are going to be lobbying for that. But not just that, we believe that the process of justice, even reparative justice, there are a lot of people across country who've been victim of accidents and they don't have a voice, nobody to stand up for them. They don't have the money, they don't have the cash to have a lawyer. There's a young man in my community who was struck down by a vehicle. He was on bedridden for quite a while. He was moving around on wheelchair, he was moving around on crutches, and there's no one really standing in his corner to plead his cause. And there are hundreds of persons across Grenada. Such persons we are inviting, if there's anyone who's been a victim of road traffic accidents somewhere or the other, please come out. We want to be able to register your cause. We want to be able to be a voice to help people to champion for compensation, to champion the cause for some kind of a justice. So we believe that the justice system should be really enhanced. It is 1 year, March 6, since my son passed. And would you believe that not one hearing of the matter has been heard? The young man, has been charged for dead by dangerous driving. And since then, the matter has been called 3 times and have been adjourned. The last adjournment was from December 7, 2023. The next hearing is April 16, 2024. And we think that the system has to be enhanced. We have to revamp the justice system. It is not an individual. It's not about the lawyers. It's not about the magistrates. It's not about the police. It's about the system. That has to be changed. They must address it.
Let me ask you, though, as a former law enforcement personnel, is this traditionally the pace at which the system works, or is there something ulterior here that we're not? That's causing this grinding pace at which justice seems to be evading you?
I wouldn't want to say that, because I had experience, and there are a lot of people that have matter. I don't want to say that my case has to be a special one, because what I'm standing for, right? What we are standing for as a foundation, we're fighting for the cause of others. There are a lot of people who don't have the voice. There are a lot of people who are going through this grinding pain. As we speak now, Asha's mom, she's distraught. She is crying, and as the situation comes closer, the date comes closer. We spoke yesterday, and she couldn't help herself, really and truly. And there are hundreds of people there who are going through this situation. You know what happened? When the matter is prolonged, your pain continues and it is prolonged.
Because you want closure.
That's correct. When the matter is reopened, when a situation occurs, every time you have to go to court, you rewind the situation all over again. So it's like you're peeling the plaster that is supposed to be on wound, you open it up. The sutures that should be in those massive incisions, they are being severed, they are exposed. So the pain in your heart continues every day. And every time something is mentioned, every time there's a delay in the process, that's the kind of a pain, the grinding pain that people go through. So we want to just champion that, to say there has to be a way for quicker justice, particularly when there are traumatic situations. There are families and there are people who are going through this. So the quicker, not just quick justice, but there's a cliche that says justice delayed is justice denied. And we believe that our state mechanism will have to move to the point where in particular situations where you have families that have to go through these kind of prolonged situation, that there has to be a condition where those matters are brought to the fore and that you can roll with them and you can decrease the process of pain. And what happens there, the emotional, the psychosocial challenge that these persons face will continue. And oftentimes, people do not get the kind of counseling, they do not get the kind of a debriefing situation that they have and the therapy that they need because they're just left there. So once the matter is fresh, people come out, they sympathize, they empathize. And then what happens? The family or the few individuals, they're left to go through this on their own. And the longer it goes, JC, but the more difficult it becomes. So we're gonna be championing for a few things. We want to see that process of justice move in a different direction. We want to see it particularly where that accident happened, that sidewalks are made on our roadsides, ensure that guardrails coming over the granite tanks and all these places that you look at them, and I've seen quite a number of them, there are accidents waiting to happen. We want to be able to see an overpass in that area where you do not restrict the movement of pedestrians and traffic by people having to cross. You have police officers and wardens that use stress on that highway, trying to stop traffic and trying to get students and people to move. Why not have an overpass created? And that should move quickly. I am hoping that the power at be, the authorities, they would listen to our plea and they would move with that situation, because what we want to do is to make life easier for a lot of people. And finally, not really finally, but there are two sets of people I really want to stand for again. Joggers and walkers on our streets. There are some places that feel unsafe, look unsafe, may be unsafe. But since that tragic situation, there are a lot of other persons who used to be jogging on the streets, walking on our streets, enjoying the aesthetics, the ambience of our beautiful island. They feel traumatized. They are scared because of that accident that occurred. They feel that somebody can sweep them off the street. So we want to be able to reassure people, be able to give them things that could be reflective, that they could feel much safer on our roads.
Before we wrap, let's remind us again, for those in case you just joined us, 27 minutes gone past the hour of 7 o'clock. My guest this morning, Sylvan McIntyre.
Yes.
Remind us of it. What is happening, when, where, and why?
Absolutely. I really want to thank GBN for the support they've been giving me over the last year, and all the persons who met us and expressed their condolences. I can tell you for an entire year, every day I walk the street, there's somebody new who meet me and say, I have not met you, accept my condolences. So on March 6th, which is on Wednesday at 5 p.m. in the afternoon, there will be a candlelight vigil, a march and motorcade. The assembly point would be at just close to the Carberry's car park on the Morris Bishop Highway. We'll have a candlelight vigil. There will be remarks, and people are expected to come out to show their solidarity. If you want Grenada to change, to be traffic safe or to be better, please come out from everywhere. And if you've had a situation where you don't think you are duly treated as a result of some vehicular or motor vehicle accident, some road accident or otherwise, or you think you have a contribution to make, or you want to register to be part of our foundation, please come out. Wednesday, 5 p.m., the Morris Bishop Highway, close to the Grenada Carberries.
And anybody that's probably needing information, what numbers can they reach?
Or they can call me, 405-7451. Call me, please. While we get other things established for the foundation, I use my personal number for now as we get fully started. 405-7451 to register your cause, your support, your solidarity. Or if you didn't get to come to call, please come out.
Thank you, Sylvan McIntyre. 1 year later, it is as real as it is, and you never understand what it is to lose someone that you love unless you have trod that path yourself. Thank you, Sylvan.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, GBN as well.
Well, moving away from the Asher McIntyre Foundation, we want to talk some athletics. There was the Arise National Championship over the weekend. There is Intercall coming up in just under 2 weeks. There is character bellowing in our bellies to talk about. The man Conrad Francis, the legend. And when I say a legend, I don't mean I'm not just exaggerating. He has a story to tell, and not much people seem to know. You know that Conrad is a legend, right?
Oh, of course I know. I mean, he championed the cause through Boca and these places, the 400 on the tracks, and as a coach, as a athletic intellect, in the ministry.
I mean,
he definitely is a legend.
I must say, and I tell it to him every day, that you always want to give people the flowers before they depart.
Yeah.
And he keeps saying that God has him here still for those who knows what happened to him in more recent times.
Yeah.
He's here for a reason. I'm no athlete, but I know one when I see one. We take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Conrad Francis joins me on Good Morning Grenada.
Your new Grenlec bill is even easier to read and still has all the valuable information you need to track and manage your usage.
Hey Mom, okay, your friendly tech support is here. So you got the new Grenlec bill? Let's take a look. The new bill makes it even easier to see your bill total, the due date, and much more. And take a closer look. It actually is a lot easier to understand. Let me show you. You can still see exactly what the charges are for, but in a great new format, it even shows how the cost of generating and delivering the electricity to you is calculated using your actual usage. And Mom, let Lucy know she can check out Grenlec's new Understanding Your Bill video. Anyway, look who says hi, and see you soon.
Your new Grenlec bill, easier to understand and easier to track your usage.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wiring accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
My name is Alimaka Motley. I've been here doing nails since 2017. Me being self-employed, I have realized that paying the NIS benefits me now and even when I retire. By the time I'm 65, I will be receiving contributions back from NIS. So I benefit because I'm self-employed. Anything can happen. If anything happens to you while you're at work, you've got a bad cold, you have the COVID, you have dengue, we have all these diseases that's plaguing us at the moment. NIS will be giving you back some form of money when you're ill. So I would encourage all small business persons to sign up with NIS now.
You must be there before 8 so that at least you can prepare yourself psychologically for your task ahead.
Because you never know, even your cash, even just say your cash here, you don't know that next person when they come at 8 o'clock, what problems they are coming with. But good morning to you, my dear old friend. It's always good. It's always good to see you.
Good morning, Joseph. Good morning to all your listeners, both locally and in the diaspora.
Somebody referred to you on social media as their coach. They got quite excited. They got quite excited. They said, Coach. There's a lot of people, do they understand that you're, well, tell Coach good morning, Nutmeg Queen?
I don't know who is Nutmeg Queen, but
well, Nutmeg Queen, you'll have
many people do refer to me as Coach.
Tell us about that coaching career of yours.
Well, Joseph, that
Let's give us a short version. Started when?
Yeah, I'll just give you a genesis of it. My coaching career really started in 1985 when I returned from studying.
Right.
And it lasted right up. Well, presently I still do a little coaching.
Right. The man, Conrad Francis. At present, you are the president of the Grenada Athletics Association, and it keeps you busy. That's what keeps you looking so young,
Well, yeah, that's one of the reasons. But, I try to take care of myself. I listen to Mr. McIntyre speaking, and I empathize with him because on two fronts. One, because I too lost a son, not in tragic circumstances as him, but I know what it feels to lose a loved one, and also, I jog every morning, and Asha. I usually pass Asha on the street, and we greet each other, but I'm always appalled at the fact that I don't know if it's that some people don't know, our joggers on the streets, that they must always face the traffic. Always face the traffic. You do not want the traffic behind you because you cannot see what is coming from behind.
Right.
If you are facing it and somebody run off the road, you stand a chance of scampering.
Right. And it's not just for jogging, just for general road etiquette.
Yeah.
Strategy, when you have an appreciation, you can see them, they can see you. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Nutmeg Princess says she is the girl from Jersey.
Okay. Good morning, Nutmeg Princess.
Everyone is saying good morning to Marilyn Campbell as well. Joining us on Facebook.
Yeah. Another point I want to raise about walkers and joggers also. Mr. McIntyre spoke about wearing reflective clothing. That's one, but not everybody likes to wear the reflective clothing. And I can give an example of myself. I always wear a white T-shirt. Always. It's easier for a vehicle someone driving to pick up someone in white clothing.
Right.
And I see a lot of joggers, they jog in dark clothing. That's dangerous.
That is dangerous.
Very dangerous.
That is dangerous. And the reflective elements, they vary now, You have wristbands, a little different things. Yeah. Just flick it on. That's relatively cheap. You could get a vest. The team at Wireman's house, they sell the vests, and it's relatively cheap, about $20 or so. So you can just get it to put over it. But we started here, but certainly we wanted to talk about character. But before we jump to character, the weekend was a busy one. The Ariza Championship, how was it?
From our standpoint, we are pretty satisfied that the meet went down well. One, the fact that the games were sponsored. Ariza is our sponsor for the last decade, and they have remained on board with us, and hopefully that they would continue. We think also that the fact that we are able to complete the games, to finish the games, all the events went off. We had over 700 athletes participating. That is a big game, 700 athletes. And the crowd participation, it was very good. They were into the activities. In Grenada, we have a very participatory crowd, and people come out and watch the athletes. Maybe more people could have been there, but a lot of different activities around. But we are satisfied that the games went down well. On Saturday, we had some little hiccups, with printers and different little issues. But on Sunday, yesterday, I think that the games, the flow of it was really good, and it's all shows that we are well on our way to having a very exciting character games, games that will be well run, well managed. In fact, from where we sit, we think it's easier to run a character games in terms of on the days of it, right? Than a national championship, because character.
Why so?
Character would not have over close to 800 athletes.
Okay.
Right? It will be around 600 for the most athletes. All right? And then the level of the athletes is a little higher than our local participants in terms of there are not all these categories.
Right.
For national championships, we started at under 9, right? And what you find is that at character is a regional games. It's one of the world's best junior games.
Right.
So everybody's coming with an A game in terms of organization, in terms of meeting the deadlines for the entries. You know, you cannot have any changes on the day, and that is one of our major problems. Because this year we had complaints that some people did not read the technical manual, so they did not know when was the technical meeting. So they come, they want to make changes. Then 2 days before changes, the day before more changes, and even on the day
there's still
changes. In character games, you cannot do that.
But
so it lends itself to running a better meet and to assist the whole flow of the game.
Someone could always make the argument that, listen, we have to set the standards. If this is the cutoff point, this is the cutoff. Whether you come screaming, Hail Mary, Jesus Christ on the day, hello, the cutoff point has gone. If you're not ready, you forfeit the opportunity.
Joseph, we have tried. And still trying. We try to enforce penalties. We read the rules for them. We let them know exactly what's happening. But you'll be surprised at some of the people that does that. You know, because we transition from hand timing to electronic timing.
So you're going digital.
Yeah. So. And we have different apps, different systems using. For example, we use a program called the Meet Manager. And once we do the online entries also. So once the entries are in, it's difficult to go into the system now and change that. And that causes a lot of delays on the day of the games when we have to do that.
I don't want to labor too much on that, but I think going forward we have to, in order that we can give our athletes on our stakeholders an appreciation of what happens at the upper level. Because when you go to character, there's no if, buts, maybe, or perhaps.
Yeah.
So we have to start getting our athletes mentally prepared for that. But the games was a success overall. But we're getting ready for character. A lot of excitement in the air as to the fact that Grenada is hosting yet again. And where are we? Dotting I's, crossing T's? What stage are we at?
Well, we are just about, I think it's about 26 days away from the games.
Yeah.
And we are almost there. At the organizational level, we are meeting regularly, trying to put all the pieces together. On the deadline for the final entries is on the 18th of March. So there's still a couple of days. So some countries had their national trials just as us over the weekend. So we hope that all the entries would be in. And yeah, we are right there. We are right there. Just polishing up all the different ends that has to be met for character. In terms of the accommodation, we have secured all the hotels. We have been training our officials, and over the weekend it was really a trial, a little preview of what to expect for character.
I know you have a number of subcommittees that is set up, but I think one of the highlights and the great excitement going into character is the fact that new track you've done, getting the stadium ready. You've done, is it a refurbishment? Is it a totally new surface that we have, or just some refurbishment work?
Yeah. The surface, as you know, is resurfaced. right? A company from the USA did the resurfacing, being on, and it is one of the faster tracks you'll find in the world. In fact, the World Championships 2 years ago was held in Oregon, and that's the same surface that was used.
Right.
It is also the track in Birmingham, right? So it is a fast track, and over the weekend, the sprinters ran some pretty good times. So it's an indication that the track is really fast. The warm-up track is coming on nicely. We were not able to use it over the weekend, but hopefully, and we know that it will be ready for the character game. So we are putting all the pieces together.
Voluntarism, Mr. President, it's critical to the success, not just in any. Just in the, but here's what we are going to do though. We give you a time check, 14 minutes onto the hour. We'll take a quick commercial break, really quick commercial break, and we'll be right back right here on the morning show.
Get ready to witness the ultimate showcase of talent, speed, and determination at the 2024 Carifta Games. This prestigious event brings together the best young athletes from across the Caribbean, competing for glory like never before. With the motto, many people, one region, celebrating athletics, Carifta embodies the essence of Caribbean unity through sports, igniting a flame that illuminates the future of sports in the region. Don't miss out on this incredible event taking place at the Karani James Athletic Stadium from Saturday 30th March to Monday 1st April 2024. Get your tickets now at Grenadian Optical or visit gotafed.com and secure your spot to be part of this extraordinary celebration of athleticism.
Mention at the wing high, then you have things like man, you must come back, you know. We have the low power there.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake. I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and YouTube channel for We Culture.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere. in the morning time. Welcome back to our listeners and our viewers wherever you are. Classic 105.5 and 105.9. Those of you that's in social media, wherever you are, YouTube, or you probably join us on www.gbn.gd. We want to say thanks for being part of the morning conversation. Yes, Conrad. So, for those of you just joining us, President of the Grenada Athletics Association, we're doing a recap of the Rise of Champs, Excellent Champs, which was literally, you said, served as a precursor for Grenada's hosting of Character Games, which is literally 26 days away. And I know the team is quite excited. While you're away, the question that came in that was asked is the issue of accreditation for the media, both local and regional.
Yes, the accreditation, there's a form that media personnel will have to fill out, right? And they can get this form. They can apply for this form through our General Secretary. I think it's grnmf at worldathletics.org. And you'll find that form. You can get that form through that medium and fill it out, and it will have to be approved by the LOC.
And I mean, when you say approve, I mean, I know you say approve, people start thinking, whoa.
Yeah, approve. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just in terms of
procedural reasons.
Right. Okay.
Procedural reasons. And for the foreign media too, they also have to get that approval from their local federation.
Right.
Yeah. From the local federation.
Is there a cutoff point for that accreditation process?
Yes, there is, but I cannot recall it to memory.
But I would suggest get it done as soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
Get it done as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Volunteerism is key to any meet, and character is no different. It happens at all the Olympics, the World Championships. There's a large contingent of volunteers. No different for character.
Yes. A games is dependent on volunteerism. If you do not have volunteers, you cannot effect the games. And but there are volunteers at different levels.
Right.
Different levels, and you could start from the head. Our LOC are all volunteers.
Right.
Our federation, we are all volunteers. No one gets paid. And so you start from there, come down. You know, our technical officials, those out on the field in the hot sun, as the hours roll by, they are all volunteers, right? And without these officials, the games cannot run.
Right.
Then we have what you call the service ambassadors. It's a new term. Basically, we're saying the volunteers. But because of the importance of their role, you know, we call them service ambassadors. You have the protocol people, the liaison officers. I mean, there's so much different areas. The transportation people, right? And all the various committees, because the LOC are made up of various subcommittees. You have the accommodation, you have accreditation, you have the operations, the various committees, the marketing committee.
There's a lot of people who you probably don't even see or hear about that is critical to ensuring a successful hosting of the games of this magnitude.
Yeah, they are working behind the scenes, and these days, you know, in the advent of Zoom, I mean, practically every night is a meeting. Right? So people are working tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that this game is a success.
You made mention earlier on that, for example, the timing. Nobody does handheld timing anymore. We've advanced that, and the expectation is that we are games that is digital, and we're not expecting Abu Dhabi with all of this, but certainly, what can we expect in terms of that in terms of visibility, that character has gone to another level in terms of the digital apparatus and so that would be employed?
Yeah. definitely. And people would have gotten a peek of it over the weekend. Let's take, for example, the advertising, right? So over the weekend, we use some digital advertising boards. So you'll see a mixture of that, again, for character. The regular boards, the digital boards. We're going to see, for example, in the long jump, we have acquired a piece of equipment called the Verilinks. So when the athlete jumps and they make a no jump, that camera will pick it up. So no longer we depend on the human eye. We're also looking at the whole graphics of the games, right? On the scoreboard, you will see a lot of interesting graphics. Right. We have also, as a matter of fact, we brought in someone to train our people in the photo finish, the whole aspect of photo finish, right? And that seminar was conducted over last week, and the gentleman stayed on for the games this weekend. So for example, and people were trained in the false start system. Yeah, and that's a very important aspect of the games now. We've had a false start system here, and practically no one could have operated it. It was hardly used. So we were able to train some youngsters, right? And they will be using the false start system because it's a very intricate system. So these are some of the things. We are planning also to have what you see at World Champs and so on, the entrance of the athletes. When they come out through that corridor, and everything is digitally organized. So we are hoping that we can present this. It was done in the Bahamas, but we intend to improve on it. Yeah, because we are a country of firsts. You know, we always do a lot of things first time.
The Team Grenada, on terms of their preparation, how's that going?
Well, I'm not. I would say it's going pretty okay, but we've had our challenges with the resurfacing of the track. We could not really get the team together as much as we would have liked to. We had challenges in terms of venues for camp. We usually camp at Newlo. We couldn't get Newlo this year. We couldn't get the stadium because it's also cricket stadium is also under repair. So we had our challenges, but the people who were there weekend would have seen the talents that we have, and we have a very talented group of young athletes. And we are hoping that if the crowd comes out and support these young athletes, that they can lift their standard and we can see some very good performances from them.
As you talk about crowd and support cost, what's the price? Tickets and
tickets would be there are different prices. Okay. You have a finish line A, finish line B, and finish line C. Okay. Right? Both upper and lower, you have finish line A and B, right? So the finish line is a little bit more costly. I mean, that's premium seating. Yeah, you know. And I think it's $80 premium. The A is $80, and I think the B is $70. And C, I think, is $60. I could be making some errors here, but
those costs you're talking about, is that for a day or just a seasonal pass?
That's a day, but we also have seasonal passes, right? So there are packages.
Right, there are packages.
Yeah.
Right. In terms of post people just wanting information, because you know, as the president, you have overarching. So a lot of those things you may not necessarily be directly responsible. But if people they're looking for information, how can they reach the secretariat?
Okay, for information, we have an office at the Grenada Athletic, the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, right? And we also have a character office, the character office there, so people can go into these offices and ask information. They can also email us. We are at grnmf@worldathletics.org, so they can get information there. But as you say, as you correctly says, that we have different people responsible for different things. So, for example, we are LOC. Our LOC is chaired by Mrs. Vida Bruno Victor, and we have our different committees. Everybody is responsible for different areas, and then we meet and we discuss it and make decisions.
Before we wrap up, because we're literally out of time, but I had to ask you this. I'm assuming again for volunteers, they can call the office and they would be assisted.
Yeah, but for example, for volunteers, but it's late now. It's late because all the volunteers have already been selected. Mr. Rydon Bihari is the chairperson of that subcommittee. So now it's too late.
But I mean, we not because you never know, somebody may just fall sick on the day.
Yeah.
If somebody, I mean, you may not be able to, maybe not for this year, but I mean, you could always express your interest going forward.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because most of the training have been completed.
Oh, in terms of training, that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. That's where we leave the conversation for now. President of the Grenada Athletics Association, Conrad Francis, we're getting ready for character. We just, of course, had a great weekend with the Horizon National Champ, successful hosting, not without its challenges, but certainly it served as a precursor for the hosting of Character 2024. For those of you that's on television, of course, we say goodbye to you for now. For those of you on radio, of course, I'll be here with you, and To The Point comes up at the top of the hour. We now send you to the BBC for a bulletin of news.